going to be doing a few projects. This is my first one. It's a 1967 Chevelle station wagon. I've got quite a bit of work done on it already, as you'll see in this episode. Got all the body work done and she's all ready for paint. I'm going to be slapping some paint on here pretty quick. But you get all caught up on what I've done in this episode, and then we'll move on to doing the paint job. Alrighty, if you like what you see, hit subscribe. We've got quite a few other projects to do. Knock out all these little spots. And up to the body line. Your highlights and low lights will start coming. Right there's high, that's low. This will get rid of it. It's nothing more than PVC. High spot's gone. Shoot another thing of primer on there and we'll do the body lines. Make sure this is good with guide coat. Same with the top one. Get it with the top one too. Same time. Give it a quick wipe. Make sure everything's clean. But pretty much staying off them. We are doing guide coat today. I got some of it started. A little bit on there. Got the door jambs. This car. I'm guide coating the door jambs because I usually forget to hit some of the parts, so I'm doing them on this. But you see, it's all ready to go. It's a good idea to do it. Any place you don't work, I had to rebuild all these windows here. It's all the way around. Back's done. I had to fix both these bottoms were rotting out. I had to do it. Well, I did it. I shaved the rails while I was at it. It gives it a pretty cool look.
Now, holy crazy, that sounds really bad. So, this sound is on hard episode. This is the only way to look back at the places. You can do this back there 20 minutes. Oh, surely the constitution is right. And now we need to make this switch back to reinforcing the Chinese Communist Party state of China. This is how you got it. You have to go politics or politics. You don't know what I'm talking about, see? We're still getting buzzwords, white supremacy, white privilege, CRT, all this stuff. And now they're making nothing close. And then we're from February 2013 on, and then we started to drop in March of 2021. We want
Hey guys, it's been a few days here. Got all the guide coat sanded down, looked good, and I went and got it reprimed. It's all ready for wet sanding. Came out pretty nice. Go and hit this all with 400. Gonna be let's just smooth it out. I got some of the roof done. Comes out pretty nice. I'm ready to start the wet sanding process, and I'll go over it real quick with you, show you how it's done and why you're doing it. We're gonna start out with 400 grit first, and we'll move up to 600, maybe 800, but I doubt it. Got my piece of paper, and it's all wet already. It's been soaking for a while, and squirt bottle. And just take and soak it down. You want to keep it wet. Do not let it dry out while you're sanding on it. And try not to run off the edges onto like the fender. Lift the hood up or whatever you're working on, open the door. And there is a dab of soap inside my bottle. It helps lubricate it a little bit. And grab a rag and wipe off your residue. You don't want to have a buildup of residue on there. It can affect your sanding. But see, what you're after is, you see that little spot right there, spot right here, those are not fully sanded. When the water stops beating, you'll know it's fully sanded. But don't concentrate on that one area. Move it around. Because if you concentrate right there, you'll put a divot. And if you can see, the water's not beating in that area anymore. It means it's fully sanded and you move on. And keep your fingers tight together when you're doing it and keep them at an angle. You don't want to go like this because you'll leave marks across like this. And notice when you view your fingers, the marks that you'll leave. But you go sideways, you notice there's no marks. All the steps you do, this is one you do not want to rush on. This is what you're going to see when you put the paint on. So take your time, do it right. Don't rush. When the rag gets dirty, clean it. Have a bucket of fresh water. But it doesn't take that long, and it's well worth the effort. You notice that my sandpaper is not falling off. Little trick, use spray adhesive, stick it to it. Makes life much easier. You don't need a lot, just a tiny bit. And it'll stay stuck on there. And about the time it's wore out, it'll fall right off. But just make sure you clean this pad every now and then, because you don't want a glue buildup. And there it is. One tiny little spot right there. Just like that, gone. That side's finished, now I just got the rest of the car to do.
Life of the fullest, freedom to express themselves, freedom to make a living, freedom to fill your stomach, among other things. And we've got a war against free speech going on in our country, and it has been quite successful. Like you from DirecTV. They also cover Trump rallies. And now, all you got left is Fox. Fox doesn't carry it around. If Fox is the last conservative outlet on DirecTV, don't you suppose they will try other outlets? Don't you suppose they're going to go after the cable outlets? They're already there. This Kearns and DeSantis will be considering a run and trying to build his national profile in recent weeks. All right? So, by the way, the survey also shows Trump being the only declared potential GOP presidential candidate to lead Joe Biden. Trump leads Biden by a 4% lead, which means 14 actually. DeSantis does not. A Rasmussen poll found that 52% support Trump, while only 24% DeSantis, 15% support Hillary. Widely viewed as the most established among the three independent contenders. So all in that, how interesting. And I said yesterday,
but certainly this is again recent, and their subscription hasn't lasted long, to our knowledge. And we'll see what kind of decision they end up making about whether they'll resubscribe or how to accept products.
James, I gotta tell you, thank you for what you're doing. I love to see journalism in 2019. Even now hasn't admitted that it's for real, even though it is, and everybody knows it. Christopher Wray said that apparently the FBI has also known that the Wuhan lab in Wuhan, China, where the Wuhan virus came from, literally attempting to threaten and harass.
Since the leak of the Dobbs decision, and only 2 individuals have been charged. Wow. So how do you explain this disparity by reference to anything other than politicization of what's happening here?
The FACE Act applies equally to efforts to damage, blockade.
Honestly, you know what? This is why I say, know why I know that the FBI is corrupt and it's deserted? Because I'm not stupid. Hunter Biden's laptop was real. Because I'm not stupid. Do you know why I knew that the dossier, the Hillary Clinton, and the Democrats...
Sanding block with a piece of Lexan screwed to it. You make sure the screws are countersunk so there's no sticking up. A littler one, just a piece of PVC and a rounded block. And my piece of paper that we just put some glue on. And just take it. That is my secret weapon for wet sanding. You notice the paper's wet. Just a light little coat and it'll stay stuck. So you're not always losing it while you're trying to sand. And it works great. Just don't want to get a lot on it, and you do not want to do it anywhere near your vehicle. You want to do it close to the ground. But it works great. It's a wet. So we got a little bit of spray glue on. And just all you gotta do is dust this block, because it doesn't like to stick to the Lexan too good. It'll stick to the regular blocks. But just put a light dust on there, light dust on there. They can both be wet, it won't matter. And it'll stick on it. Just take it and stick it on there. Like so. Keep it so you got two edges to work with. You still gotta hold it. You just don't have to hold it as much. But there you go. Works great and it's efficient. All right, we have it all done with 600. Just finished it all up. And why I like doing it this way with the Lexan 600, because you see right there, it shows where I missed. The tiny bit right there. And a couple of spots right here. There's a few spots right here on the door. Other than that, the rest of the car came out really good. And that's why I like doing it that way. 400 is just a little too aggressive to go with that. But 600 will leave that little bit of scratch marks that you can see from the 400. And what I use is I use the quarter round to sand those. Works really nice. You don't have to do it with the Lexan again. But then I'll hit it with 800 and it'll all be done. Ready for paint. That's why you stay away from the body lines when you're wet sanding. I don't know if this is picking it up or not. But you see I went too close with the big block up to the crown of the hood. And I sanded and went up to it like that. It hit that edge and it left a mark right there. And if you wipe it, you can see it right here. One thing good about it, when you're wet sanding, stuff like that will show if you watch for it. So now you just sand it this way, get rid of that. And now you can see that it is gone. You always got to watch out for that kind of stuff. What I was going to do is take my block, go up to it, say about an inch, inch and a half away. It just go in circles. Like that. It'll disappear. Make sure you keep it clean though, as you're doing it. And all that kind of stuff will disappear. You won't always catch them, but sometimes you will. You try to do them in a bright area or get more light around you. When you're doing this, you get a nice reflection of light. There she is. There's 3 days of wet sanding. Did the door jambs and all that stuff. But yeah, that's done with a 400 grit, 600 grit, and then the 800 grit. And the 600 was done on the Lexan. 400 and 800 were just done on blocks. But now shelf scrubbed up, looks good. And what's nice about scrubbing her up is you can go back and you can look at it with your water-based clear coat. So you can see anything if you want to fix something. You can chase it out. But she's just as slick as glass. Nice. Those reflections. Roof. It's nice finding a station wagon that nobody ever put anything on the roof. So it was already beautiful shape. Which is nice because I wouldn't want to have to try to straighten something like that thing out. But she is nice and slick. Then the smoothed out rails look really cool. Kind of looking at it, I should have raised my glass up, but too late now. But she looks good. She's ready for the next part to make it look pretty.